people of the world, and welcome to today's episode of Coffee Chats with Jax. You guys, it is Pride Month, June, and I am so excited because this is the first year that Pride Month has really meant something to me. If you've been following my YouTube channel or my Instagram or have read my book, any of the things, you'll know that earlier this year I came out for the first time as bisexual. If you're interested in hearing more about my coming out story and all that, I'll put a link in the description box below for that video. But for this video, I want to update you guys on really just how it's been because I haven't really talked about it. When I first came out, I was really afraid that it was going to change everything about my life in ways that I was not ready for. But the truth is, I am the exact same person as I was before. Like, when I first came out, it was something that I talked about a lot in a lot of conversations and read a lot of books, and it was the main focus in my mind. But after it kind of settled into just a regular part of my life, it just became a regular part of my life. I keep saying over and over and over again this past year about how I've never felt more like myself. I've never felt more proud and more confident and more in my own shoes as I do today. And that's something that I think came from a lot of things. Like, that comes from me looking inward at mental health, that comes from me going to therapy, that comes from me being around really good people, that comes from me just valuing who I am. But I think that ties up a lot into me giving myself the freedom to look inwards at my sexuality. I think that has a lot more to do with that than I realized before. Because I think our sexuality is so much more than just about who we're attracted to and why. I think it's different for everybody. But for me personally, giving myself the freedom to look inwardly at my sexuality and to talk about it and to be that and live that, it really, what it did was it gave me permission to embrace everything about who I am. It gave me permission to live in the gray, to live in the tension, to not know the answer to everything, to know that I'm not dirty and broken and going to hell and all these things that I used to believe about myself, but to know that these different pieces of me that I used to be so ashamed of, they're actually really beautiful and they actually have a lot of life and incredible things to give to the world. There's not these parts of me that I want to hide. There's not these things that I know I'm taking to the grave with me because they're not okay. There's nothing I'm afraid to say out loud or I'm afraid to write on paper. This piece of me isn't new. It's always been there. It's just been patiently waiting for me to let it be free, to let that part of me live and have light and speak love and truth. It feels so much more than just being allowed to be attracted to both guys and girls, but it feels like a part of me that's teaching me how to love better. That's teaching me how to see people better. That's teaching me that living in the gray is okay. And that there's so much more to life and so much more to the human experience than in this tiny little box that I used to try to live in. It teaches me that I'm allowed to wear whatever the hell I want. And there's not this like picture perfect image of how a woman's supposed to be. Like, it's redefined what ladylike means to me. It's kind of pushing those gender boundaries for me to just be able to see that there aren't rules. Like, if I don't want to wear a dress to something, I don't have to wear a dress to something. If I want to wear a suit, because women look badass in suits, that's what I get to do. It just lets me explore and be free and love people so much better. It's given me permission to look at who I am without being afraid of what I will find. The parts of me that I used to think were a punishment, a thorn in my flesh, if you know what I'm talking about, the things that I thought were going to send me to hell, it taught me that those pieces are actually really beautiful and actually really life-giving and actually this incredible part about who I am. And it just feels so good, you guys. It feels really good. I'll say it again, sexuality is just so much more than who you're attracted to. It's about you giving yourself permission to know what you want, to know that you are beautiful, and to know that everybody's different and unique. But the thing is, you guys, my decision to come out was not even remotely possible until I was ready. Like, it just wasn't there in my head. Like, I knew it was true, but it was never something that ever would have crossed my mind or my lips to come out. Like, I had to wait for myself to be ready. And when I was ready, I knew I was ready. I can't imagine going backwards. I can't imagine what it would be like if I never did that. So if you're out there and you're afraid or you're ashamed or you're scared or you're just not ready, that's okay. You take your time. You wait till you're ready. You do this when you want to. This is on your time frame. Just know that you are loved and celebrated even in hiding. Know that the pieces of who you are that you think are broken, that you think are dirty and wrong, they're actually really beautiful. And whenever you are ready, there is a really incredible community here waiting for you. That's the best part about my experience, honestly, was the community, the people that I met, the people that really proved to me how much they really, really loved me afterwards. I'm so bummed because I'm missing my first Pride parade because I'm traveling right now, but I keep seeing these stories of my best friends ever going to these Pride parades, their first ones as well, and just being so celebratory and so excited and so on our team. I got so emotional this week and I just wanted to cry every time I would see anyone post anything because I just felt so supported and so loved. It's a really, really amazing feeling to know that all of you is out on the table and all of you is loved. So you take your time, and when you're ready, know that we are here waiting for you, and it's a really beautiful, exciting, vibrant place to be on the other side of hiding. Here is to figuring it out. Here is to not knowing everything. Here is to living in the gray and saying, screw you to the black and white. Here's to knowing that we don't have to have all the answers. And here's to knowing that it's okay if we mess up. And here's to celebrating the pieces of who we are that we used to think we had to hide and be ashamed of. Here is to learning what we actually like and what we actually want out of life and out of who you want to be with. Here is to loving who we are, all the pieces, all the things. I love you guys. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was somewhat of an encouragement to you. I was really excited to make it because this is an exciting feeling, and I'm happy to be able to share where I'm at with that, and there'll be more to come eventually, but this is just a note to you saying that it feels good on this side. If you're interested in reading my book and learning more about my story and I guess how I got from there to here or whatever, then there is a link to my book, Finding Home, in the description box below. Also, if you want to support me more in what I'm doing as an independent artist, creative, writer, speaker, all the things, there's a link to my Patreon page below where you can support me for as little as $1 a month. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful time over this very hot June season, and I'll see you next week.